I will start with a simple diagram how it happens, what happens when user logs on. So user enters his credentials like username and password or within the special desktop, within the special user interface being provided by winlogon. And then the data is being exchanged between winlogon and the LSAS, Local Security Authority subsystem. And most of the attacks focusing on credentials, on stealing credentials, on manipulating credentials, focuses on LSA. So LSA is better protected, it is well developed, it changes between different versions of Windows, etc. And grabbing credentials from LSA is harder and harder. At the same time, winlogon is quite open to this because when user enters the password, what winlogon does? Winlogon reads the entry from the registry, I will show you later, and launches a special client application which is MP Notify. And MP Notify application again reads the registry and loads its DLLs. And the idea behind this is to provide a way of notifying different Windows components about the event related to the authentication. It may be logon, it may be password change, and so on. So when MP Notify starts, it opens a RPC communication channel to the winlogon, and winlogon uses this channel to send username and password to MP Notify, and MP Notify sends the same username and passwords to the DLL being loaded. Effectively, the DLL obtains a username and password of user which logons in the moment. I will show you how to configure it and how you can listen to usernames and password within your system. First, I will start with regedit and I will show you the winlogon key because here you can put MP Notify registry value. If the registry value called MP Notify is not present, winlogon defaults to MP Notify.exe. So we have such file within the operating system, drc windows system32 MP Notify. There is such executable file, and this is the default value if MP Notify does not exist. I never saw it replaced by any other executable file because it is quite complex, opening the RPC channel, etc., etc. So there is no reason to replace it under normal circumstances. At the same time, MP Notify is good enough. Then, as I told you, MP Notify is trying to load DLLs. Those DLLs are listed over here under network provider within the order key. Here we have a provider order registry value, and here we have listed registry keys related to DLLs loaded by MP Notify. Let's return to the script I have displayed you first. This script creates a couple of registry settings. So I will copy the script and I will launch it within PowerShell exe. Or again, it must be an administrator. I will paste it here and I will run it, which will create a couple of registry settings. The first one is about adding, here if I do F5, refresh, you can see NP Notify is being notified about new DLL to be loaded. The key responsible for this provider can be found under control set services and the name of the key. Here is a subkey, network provider, where there is information about the class, where is the name, and the path to the DLL, which will be loaded by npnotify.exe. So I have this particular file on my desktop, and I will copy it to the Windows System 32. Windows System 32, and the file is ready to be loaded by npnotify. What is special about this particular DLL? This is the DLL I have created some time ago, and actually it exports two very simple functions. The first one is npgetCaps, which is somehow documented by Microsoft. It is for asking about what this particular DLL can do for npnotify. And the second function is nplogon.notify, and this is the function which obtains the information about authentication. So here you can see very simple npgetCaps and even simpler npnotify. The only thing nplogon.notify does is calling function which in turn saves the data obtained into the nppspy.txt. And the data obtained means, in this particular case, username and password, because it what this DLL obtains. So I have it ready, I have it configured in the registry. I can show you on the live DLL. If I run depends, here comes the set of exported functions from my DLL, and this is what you can see in the C source file. Now I can log off. At some point it should work. Log off. I will log on again without restarting anything like this. Sign out anyway. Type my password, and then a new file should be created or just appended on my on the root of my C drive. So cmd, Control Shift Enter, yes, and I can do type c npp spy.txt, which is the text file I have just created. So as you can see, the data about the stuff being obtained by the DLL is written into the txt file, effectively the username and the password. If you want to play with the same on your own, I'm providing not only the script for creating registry entries, but also a script for checking who is listening to our password in our system, so for getting the information. I will show it in a moment. The DLL, the compiled one, the C file I have just presented you, and some theory behind the whole process. Here you can see the short script for checking the current set of possible password leaking DLLs. If I copy it and then if I launch ISE, I do not have to be an admin for reading registry values. Paste F5, and I will see the set of currently used providers, including their signature, version, and some description, and you can clearly see the DLL we have just added. So by adding a simple DLL, by creating a couple of registry entries, you make your winlogon sharing the data with npnotify and npnotify sharing the data with the DLL, and the DLL doing potentially malicious things related to the password and username. And that's basically it.